The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sex Entertainment. I'm your host Amanda Baker.
And I'm your host Alix Pasquet. Tonight we'll be discussing the topic of sex, just like every other week.
This show will be more controversial and a little more provocative than previous discussions. So we advise you guys not to take any offense and take this time to learn all about sex.
And more specifically, we'll be talking about women in advertising. Now, let's jump in and get down and dirty. Let's begin with the basics. Advertising is defined as any paid form of non-personal communication about an organization, product, service, or idea by an identified sponsor in mass media. We're all familiar with its obvious persuasive and awareness techniques.
Demassification is a new concept in today's society. That's when an ad is geared towards a specific population to sell the product. Face cream. Everybody needs it. This one specifically for oily skin.
Amanda, back on track.
Well, we already know that there's face creams for dry skin, moderately dry skin, sensitive skin, and so on. So this is demassification. Vaseline is used for girls with dry skin. In this ad, the girl looks hot and sweaty.
But enough with the basics. Let's talk more about the sex. Men and women are both used in advertisements, and both use sexy imagery to sell the products. This is a good example of a company that markets its products in two different ways.
The woman is obviously in a sexy pose, which is suggestive.
The man, on the other hand, is also very sexy, yet his pose isn't nearly as provocative as the one with the woman.
Some people find women in ads very offensive, while others just don't care.
According to Tom Reichert, 39% of male and female undergraduates chose the model's behavior as what makes an ad sexy. Let's take a look at our own study to see what the crew from Sex Entertainment found from the public about their opinion on these sexy images.
What do you think about this ad?
Alright, well, this ad looks like it's about chips, and, but I like the picture though. It's a good picture.
I think those are some nice shorts.
Well, I think the girl in it's kind of provocative, and you don't really know what the ad's for because your attention is drawn to the girl.
This ad doesn't surprise me at all because, as usual, they use a female as a sex symbol to try and sell their product.
What do you think about this ad?
I'd catch her.
In the 21st century, we are obviously well aware of how advertising techniques are used to make us remember ads and to make us buy their products.
Sexual content began in the 1960s during the liberation movement. This all started because feminism, cultural identity, and gay liberation were all becoming much more popular.
So over the last 30-some years, nudity has become more and more accepted in advertising. We'll be right back after this short break.
New Axe Shower Gel.
The Unexpected Experience. New Office XP by Microsoft. 'Cause
The CRTC originally developed its sex role stereotyping guidelines in 1981. Now, the ASC is responsible for administering the guidelines on behalf of the advertising industry.
The purpose of these guidelines is to create positive images of both men and women. It eliminates systematic discrimination based on gender.
The Canadian Code of Advertising Standards was created by the advertising industry in 1963 to promote the professional practice of advertising. It is regularly updated to ensure that everything remains vital, relevant, and current. It contains 14 major rules that set the criteria for acceptable advertising. Rule number 14 being unacceptable depictions and portrayals of men and women in media.
Of course, sex is everywhere in advertisements. Let's take a look at some of the ads we've seen in magazines and billboards.
Do you like my style? Yeah, sexy, sexy, sexy. Like a rock down. Yeah, sexy, sexy, sexy. You could work me out. Yeah, sexy, sexy, sexy. Let me show you how. Yeah, sexy, sexy, sexy. So here's a demonstration, a peep show.
Let's hear the opinion of someone from the actual advertising industry.
Yeah, you know, a really good example would be Tom Ford. Have you heard of him?
No, I haven't actually.
He designs his own ads, he has his own perfume, and works in the fashion industry. Let's take a look at an interview with him.
So we're here today with Mr. Tom Ford. Welcome, Tom Ford. Nice to see you again.
It's my pleasure.
How have you been lately?
Oh, very good. Can't complain.
Oh, good. Well, we're here to talk to him about some sex and advertising. So I have a couple questions for you.
Sure, shoot.
So Tom, how did you get into this business?
Well, after I got my degree at New York University in art history and design, I was actually hired by Gucci, if you already didn't know, which I assume you do, as their creative director.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big deal.
So what were your roles as a creative director?
I produced their clothing lines, their perfumes, their corporate images, but most importantly, I focused on the ad campaigns, which is sort of what I'm known for.
So Tom, what do you say about all the controversial issues that are surrounding your latest ad?
Seeing how I increased the Gucci line to a surplus of over $3 billion while my short time as a creative director there, it's certain that my provocativeness is actually, it sells. Sex sells. And the people, obviously, they react to that positively. And now that I have my own line, I'm even more free and liberated to really push it and see how far I can take it, sort of ride the wave as long as I can. And that's sort of the thought frame I have behind my new ad campaign and my fragrance for men, my perfume for men.
Yes, and that's very interesting that you say that, perfume for men. Why is it that you call it perfume instead of cologne?
That's actually a very interesting question. No one's ever actually asked me that before. It's actually European based. I tend to take a lot of my designs and ideas from Europe and bring them to America because it's the fashion capital of the world. And other than that, I don't know, I like to be different.
And thank you, Tom, for joining us today. We had a very wonderful time interviewing you, and your fans are all very excited that you came as well.
Let's go get something to eat, huh?
Well, like Tom said, sex sells. Whether you like it or not, you'll be seeing it everywhere.
So I guess that wraps up this episode of Sex Entertainment. I'm Amanda Baker.
And I'm Alix Pasquet.
Well, until next time.
Goodbye.